Who remembers the Magic School Bus show from the 1990s? If you do, just think of me as Miss Frizzle. Today, we're going to explore TRIO programs. These are federally funded grant programs that target low-income and first-generation students. We'll travel across the country learning about all things TRIO. Federal funding means it is legislators on Capitol Hill who control TRIO program funding. Federal law details everything from program eligibility guidelines to the grant reporting requirements for each program. The original 3 TRIO programs were launched in the late 1960s as part of the Higher Education Act of 1965. These were Talent Search, Upward Bound, and Student Support Services. If these sound familiar, it's because they still continue to today. Over the last 50 years, TRIO going from 3 programs to 8 is significant. At the same time, many non-TRIO college opportunity programs have been established over the years too. Examples are programs funded by nonprofits, foundations, state governments, or even colleges themselves. Today we'll focus mainly, though, on these federal programs. Some of the 8 programs are all about college prep for underrepresented middle and high school students. Other programs support students who qualify while they're in college. Still another program prepares underrepresented students to pursue their doctorate. TRIO could be thought of as a misnomer, though, right? Since there are now 8 programs instead of 3, not quite a trio. Try thinking about TRIO in this way, though, a trio of A's: access, achievement, and attainment. Okay, we've landed in DC, and it's time to meet the lobbyists, of course. This is because the Council for Opportunity and Education is a nonprofit that's been around since the 80s, and they lobby for the expansion of college opportunity programs. They're the ones who ensure that TRIO is funded and even expanded. Now that we have a bit of background on TRIO, let's take a look at some programs in action and see how this funding is put to use. We're headed to the West Coast. We've arrived in Salem, Oregon. Through Talent Search and Upward Bound grants, Chemeketa Community College serves 738 economically disadvantaged middle and high school students who have the potential to be the first in their families to earn a college degree. And that was just this year. While rewarding and impactful work, red tape is frequently a challenge at Chemeketa. Student affairs professionals there report encountering students in need who they simply can't serve due to program funding shortages or ineligibility based on citizenship status. There is little to no room for flexibility in TRIO program eligibility. TRIO professionals are scrappy, though, often creating programs that supplement TRIO programs when there is more need than funds or eligibility allow. CAMP is one of these non-TRIO programs, and it supports migrant workers and their children in pursuing a college education at Chemeketa. All right, here we go again. We're headed to UW-Milwaukee to explore their Student Support Services program. Support through this program can include academic advisement, financial literacy counseling, career advisement, and more. Retention rates for qualifying students are much higher for those who participate in the Student Support Services program. The right supports can make all the difference. Recently, UW-Milwaukee renewed their Student Support Services grant, and now they support students for all 4 years of their schooling rather than only the first 2, and degree completion rates for those participants who were getting twice as much support doubled. Here at UW-Oshkosh, we encounter the McNair Scholars Program. This program is named in honor of the late Ronald E. McNair, who was born in the segregated South in 1950 and had to overcome tremendous obstacles in order to pursue higher education in science. The goal of the McNair Scholars Program is to support low-income first-generation students, a third of whom must be Hispanic, Black, or Indigenous, towards getting their PhD. Imagine a McNair scholar earning their PhD and then going on to teach as a faculty member or lead in higher education administration. Talk about representation. The McNair Scholars Program is not without challenges, though. Student affairs professionals in this program report that it can be very challenging to find mentors, faculty mentors, for the scholars in the program who are a good match. Also, stipends simply aren't keeping up with the times and can't compete with other jobs that might be available over the summer. We're heading back to Washington, where the folks with the power to adjust program guidelines should be hard at work, right? The Higher Education Act, first signed into law in 1965, is supposed to be renewed every 5 years, but the last reauthorization was in 2008, and we're just running on a series of temporary extensions for now. COE is advocating for using the Pell Grant for eligibility in TRIO programs, for making the FAFSA the standard for collecting financial information for participants. They also want to increase stipends, which haven't been updated since the 80s. It's pretty basic stuff. Staffing shortages are an ongoing challenge for TRIO and college opportunity programs. Funding for staff is often grant funded, and the work is demanding. Offices can be shorthanded, and salaries can be low compared to the educational and experience requirements. That said, interviewees find their work incredibly meaningful, and they indicated that working in the program was a dream of theirs since they were participants in the program as well. Whatever area of student affairs you may work in now or in the future, please familiarize yourself with the Council for the Opportunity in Education and their resources for advocating for TRIO programs. It's something that anyone can be involved with on campus, and you might even consider the NCAN National Conference this October. Thank you.